Thank you for tuning into the Art of Grace podcast, where God is creating a better you. I am your host, Farah. Today's special guest is Rachel Michaud of the Orlando Connect. Listen in as we talk about the power of restart. Hey, everybody. How you doing on this happy hump day? It is Wednesday, and I am jumping on with you tonight to have some good conversation. I promise that I will be back. We are in the season of R-E. We are doing some new things. You have been hanging out with me this past week and listening to these amazing topics with some amazing women. And tonight I have a special guest coming on with me. Her name is Rachel Michaud. And we're going to be talking about, from the title, the power of restarting. You all were with me the first night when I talked about reintroduction and reintroducing yourself. You listened with me with Crystal Nicole as she talked about the power of reset. Then you jumped on this past Sunday with Pastor Patricia Alexander. She talked about the power of rebuilding. And now we're on tonight with my good girlfriend, Rachel Michaud. We're going to get her in here with us, and we're going to have some good conversation. We want to hear from you. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for those who have been jumping into the chat. For those of you who have been personal messaging me, so encouraging. So nice. To all of you all who have been following my channel and subscribing and following me, I appreciate you. For those who don't know me, my name is Farah. I'm your number one grace girl. Some of you know me from YouTube with my podcast, Art of Grace podcast, as well as What Does Bokeh Mean to You podcast, Glitter and Grace podcast. And so now we're jumping on to do this new teaching. Hey, Rachel. Hey, I see a bunch of folks on here now. I see Nathaniel. How you doing, Nathaniel? Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get Rachel in here with me. So Rachel is actually one of the co-authors. I've been talking to you all about our amazing women's devotional. For you guys who don't have it, the Successful Women's Devotional. We'll talk about that a little bit when she jumps on. We're going to talk about, hi, Nathaniel. We're going to talk about the power of restart. We're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about what Rachel does. And we're going to just see what the conversation's about. We want you to jump into the conversation with us too. You know, we want you to jump in, ask some questions. We want to talk to you. How you doing, Cheryl Bell? We got some people jumping on tonight. We're so happy that you all are engaging with us. Thank you so much. How's everybody enjoying TikTok? Can you believe TikTok has not been taken away from us? We're happy about that, because it gives us an opportunity. Hey, Rachel, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'll make your screen bigger. Can I expand you? Let me see how I can do this. Let's see. Okay, so either way, let's see here. You know, guys, I am learning about our whole TikTok nation over here. Thanks to Miss Rachel. Thanks to her, helping me to get this all set up. So I'm trying to figure out how to get this screen to where we can be side by side. Let's see here. I don't want to knock Rachel offline with me. But either way, we're both on here together. I'm excited about it. We got some good conversation tonight. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks already, about the power of so many of you all have been reaching out, and I'm excited to have conversations with us, and we're excited to have conversations with you. So Rachel tonight, I want to read a little bit of her bio. Let me just say hello to some of these folks jumping in here. We got For Life who just jumped in. We got Krista. Oh, Krista Michaud, is that a family member? Oh my gosh, I see somebody, Krista Michaud. We got a whole bunch of folks jumping on with us right now. I'll let Rachel say hello and introduce herself before I read her bio to you all.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing an amazing job. My name is Rachel Michaud, like Ferris said, and I am one of the co-authors of the book that she just showed you, Successful Women's Successful Devotional. I am a wartime Army veteran. I was in the Army for 8.5 years. Currently, my career is a life insurance and retirement specialist. I have a vegan hair care line for natural and curly hair called Glamour Boulevard. I also have a monetized YouTube channel called Rachel's Read Aloud, where I read books to children all over the world. I love books, I love children, so I just put those two passions together. I am also Miss Ocoee, Florida, for Miss Corporate America.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations. And to all the ladies who were out there with you as well.
Yes. And I'm just super grateful to be here to talk about the topic restart.
Yes, restarting. So I want to start off by reading Rachel's bio. Myself and Rachel, we met last year at what, it's been over a year because I met you last year, February
Yeah.
2024, and we
Hmm.
have connected and collaborated on so many different things.
Yeah.
And it's just so much positivity. I love Rachel because she brings so much positivity. We all try, we try to give and, to sow back positivity to one another,
Hmm.
inspire one another to grow. And so I'm so thankful that I've met her. And she is also my financial expert in my life. So I do have insurance from her. So for those of you who want to reach out and get some more information, she will definitely share that at the end of this chat with you all. So I just want to talk
Hmm.
about her a little bit. So Rachel Michaud, she shared a little bit about herself just a moment ago. She's a true embodiment of resilience, entrepreneurship, and service. Rachel's journey began with 8.5 years of honorable service in the United States Army, stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, 82nd Airborne Division. Following her military service, she pursued her academic passions, earning a bachelor's in health sciences, preclinical from the University of Central Florida, complemented by minors in health services administration and psychology. But Rachel's quest for knowledge didn't stop there. She also graduated from EMT and phlebotomy school, expanding her skill set into the medical field. Inspired by her commitment to holistic living, Rachel ventured into entrepreneurship, founding Glamour Boulevard, a vegan hair care line for natural hair enthusiasts. Her dedication and innovation led to exciting vending partnerships with prestigious events like Essence Fest, Curl Friends, and Vegan Street Party, to name a few. Today, Rachel continues her mission of service as a life insurance broker, empowering individuals to secure their financial futures through strategic life insurance, retirement plans, and annuities. Join us as we delve into Rachel's remarkable journey and glean insights into building a legacy of impact and prosperity. And Rachel, thank you so much. As I was reading your bio just now, I realized that you chose Restart, right? You are a big part of all of us restarting our financial journey and learning because some of us, we just didn't know. We didn't know. And when I first met you, we were actually out, I think at
Jazz
a
tastings.
yes, at a jazz place.
Yeah.
And my husband had just said to me, Farrah, you need to get life insurance. And lo and behold, like
I
the next
remember.
day, I met Rachel and she's like, oh, I said, what do you do? I do life insurance. I'm like, oh my God, my husband just said I need life insurance. And so she started to share with me. She reached out to me. She took her time and talked to me about the importance of it, right? And so in my age, I wish I would have gotten life insurance way earlier. I mean, I've had little plans here and there, but for you to be a part of that with me, thank you so much.
You're
You're a
welcome.
big part of, so not just talking about ourselves, but all of your clients, you're helping them to restart.
Hmm.
I mean, what does that make you feel like?
It makes me feel great because, even for myself, I got to restart. I wish I would have known about life insurance when I was, younger in high school, even middle school. I wish my parents knew about it, but, they only shared with us and helped us in the only way that they could, with the
Yeah.
resources that they have. So we can't fault them for that. But, I also got to restart by being educated by it. And that way I'm able to help my clients be educated about it because I always say it when people think of life insurance, they just think of death, but it's so
Yeah.
much more than that. Like that's how the Rockefellers built their wealth. That's how the Vanderbilts built their wealth. That's how a lot of wealthy people are building their wealth, but
Yeah.
they're just not sharing the information. So I'm grateful and fortunate to be in the position that I am because I do get to help people and educate them on that. So that way they can also not only build wealth, but build a legacy that'll last generations to generations. So
Love that.
I love that. Yeah, I'm grateful.
So not only with the life insurance piece, so now we just talked about the book, which this is like, myself in your restart. For a lot of us, this was our first book
Yeah,
project. So we're now published authors.
yes,
You just mentioned your Mr. Coe. So that's something new that you've done. Because
yes.
restart is really something new that's happening in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Something
Definitely.
new, or you've been at a pause place, but now things are starting to move again.
Yeah,
So you have a lot going on. Let's talk about some of that.
yeah,
What's one of the
absolutely.
main things you felt like maybe was at a stopping point this year that you restarted? Because we talk about vision boards all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. So I would say my career for sure,
Hmm.
and friendships, meeting different people because
Yeah.
I was a huge homebody, very introverted, very getting over. I'm not as shy as I used to be,
Yeah.
but just like building relationships. And another start that I could say that I have in terms of restart is starting a networking group called the Orlando Connection.
Yes. Let's talk
And
about
so,
that.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I would say that portion, because me being home and, being a homebody and not, really socializing with people, you're not making friends by doing that. So I had to like get out of my comfort zone, get out, start networking and meeting different people. I met you, Dr. Harriet, so many amazing people, thank God. And even in while I was meeting people, and I was able to create the networking group so I can help people like me, a lot
Yeah.
of people, because when we go to networking events, sometimes we just stay in a corner, not really know what to say or know how to say something. And, just to ourselves, like so concerned about what people are going to say, but if you like I've learned like when we go out to speak to people, it's not like they're going to say, okay, don't talk to me, or anything like that. Like we're just in our head all the time. So
Yeah.
that's a amazing or a phenomenal example too of restart, like starting the networking group.
I love that.
Yeah.
As you were talking, I did type up a few little notes before we jumped on. And I just want to say to everybody who is in the chat, we want to hear your stories about restarting. Is there something that you just restarted maybe this year, today, this week? Something that you want to restart and you need that push? What is it that you need to restart, to just slow down? And you slowing down, it doesn't mean that you're going to stop. It just may need like, a little tune up, just something to get you going again. So, for those of you who have gotten discouraged, I want to read this to you. Every ending is just a new beginning in disguise. When God hits the reset button, it's not rejection, it's redirection. So I think that for, us in this season, we just might need to be redirected. And in redirecting, you just talked about a few things, Rachel. The networking group has to do with being around people that can help you to redirect.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not just you. We sit together, and with us coming together, lots of times it's like that's when we get our ideas, just in conversation.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to be in fellowship with other people. It's so important.
Absolutely.
So like you were saying, being in the house wasn't getting us anywhere. And I share my story all the time about, the same thing, being a homebody, going to work, coming home. And it's okay when, you're just in a place of just taking it easy. And I actually told you that. I said, Rachel, I'm going to take it easy this weekend and get something accomplished while I'm at home.
Yeah.
But in that, just being by yourself is not going to get that push that you need. Maybe you do have family around you. Maybe you do have friends, or people at work. But maybe it might take you getting out and getting into a different friend group or a different group, period. It might just take that.
Yeah.
So I love that. So, restarting is something that we do to resume something or after an interruption or a pause.
Yeah.
It's okay to pause. I think Dr. Harriet loves talking about that, the power of pause. Like pause before you say yes to something. Pause. If you feel like you're slowing down a little bit in what you're doing, maybe that's just a reminder for you to just slow down a minute and get some rest, for one, because a lot of us are going on fumes. We're operating on fumes. We're operating on frustration. We're operating on, just wanting to do everything in one day, and we don't have to.
Yeah, that's true.
I was at work tonight and I'm like, you know what? Bye, everybody. We can restart this tomorrow. Like, let's all get out of this building and reset.
Restarting.
And get our minds good, because being, sometimes you need to walk away in order to get clarity.
Yeah, and that's true because we just need to give ourselves permission and give ourselves grace to even begin again, because a lot of people feel shame or guilt about needing a restart, but whether it's in their business, their health, relationships, even mindset.
Yeah.
But we just need to remind people, like everyone that's even on here, like just remember, like restarts are not setbacks. They are actually sacred invitations to realign, with our values and evolve.
Yeah.
So
I want to shout out one of our good girlfriends, Taryn.
Yay.
Taryn, how you doing, honey? I'm not sure if she's on right now, but I love the fact that we got together a few weeks ago for lunch. And in that conversation that we were just all having together at that table, it was like this conversation was happening at that table. It
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh wow, okay, Rachel, okay, you can do this. This is a great idea. Taryn, you can do this. Farah, and we all left that table ready to do it again.
I actually just shared the live with her too. She's one of the people I just shared it with.
And I'm telling
That's
you,
good.
just in that time, and just to see, just in a week and a half, like I'm seeing her more out there, right? Just out there, just
Mhm.
being her, just putting herself out there and just saying, you know what, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So, has there been anybody in your life who's helped you to get restarted? Maybe there was a time where you did have a pause.
Um, I'm a pretty self-motivated person.
Okay.
So being that I am like that, every time I feel um like I need a restart, I just push myself. I don't really,
Yes.
because I'm so reserved, I don't really like tell people everything, about me and that I have going on. Or if I'm like I feel like down or need a restart, I'll just like go in my prayer closet, pray, and
Mhm.
just, ask God to like guide me, like, okay, what do I need to do? Like, what do I need to
Yes.
leave alone, and just lead me, guide me.
I
So,
love that because he's a big part of us restarting. As I was sitting here getting ready for us to jump on tonight, I came across Noah's story, which is so dramatic, right? Because the earth
mhm,
had to be destroyed in order for God to rebuild it and to restart it again. And I just
mhm,
couldn't imagine. Like you know what? Actually, I want to share this because a few weeks ago I had never watched that movie, and we
uh-huh,
know that it's inspired, right?
yeah,
And as I was
mhm,
watching the movie, I said, "This is really powerful," and to see
mhm,
how he had to hear from God for himself.
yeah,
He
mhm,
had to hear from God. He had to just I mean, I just can't even imagine that, now we have so many distractions. We have all that we have in the earth. All they had was
mhm,
them in God. There was nothing as a distraction.
yeah,
So, and to just have that much faith
mhm,
to build an ark,
yeah,
to be out there in the open and to do something like that and to see the earth restart again, it's
mhm,
incredible. And I think that I love that you put God in the center because we do need to have God in the center of what we're doing. Lots of
mhm,
times we do feel like, why is things not happening the way we want it to happen? Why did I start that and then I stopped it? And so in that we can seek each other's conversation and we can seek each other's advice, but the
mhm,
best advice is to come from him.
yeah,
It's the best advice. I love how you said, yes, sometimes it is getting alone.
yeah,
And sometimes he will get you alone.
mhm,
He's like, okay, she's not listening, and I'm going to make sure that every time she calls Rachel, that she's not going to be able to answer the phone. She's busy.
yeah,
Every time she goes to call Farrah, she's busy. Every time we go to call Dr. Harry, she's busy, or any of our other
mhm,
friends, right?
yeah,
Because he wants us to come to him.
yeah,
So that prayer
absolutely.
closet is important. It's
Mhm,
important.
yeah,
I wanted to read this too because I was looking at this. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing.
mhm,
I'm talking about Noah. Genesis 6:8 says, "But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord." So we know that grace is so important in what we're doing, especially in resetting. Genesis 8, Genesis 8:1. But God remembered Noah. So even in our situations where we're at a stopping point,
mhm,
just know that He remembers you. And I love that. Like it says, "But God remembered Noah."
mhm,
And put your own name into that. But God remembered Farah. Hey,
mhm,
Jody, how you doing, honey? How you doing? Genesis 9:1. So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth." So when it's time to restart, that restarting, a big part of that is what's going to come. You're going to be reaping this big harvest.
mhm,
And so everything wasn't going to be for Noah's detriment, at all.
mhm,
Genesis 9:13. I have set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. And so,
mhm,
God promises us that, in that restart. And I love how, all that hurt and pain that had to happen in the earth restarting, that God then sealed it with a promise. And
mhm,
so there's things that, we've asked God for, and you have seen him walk, you have seen him walk with you, you feel him walk with you. He's
mhm,
allowed you to restart something and to start something, period. And when he's in it, there's
mhm,
that promise on it, and it can't fail.
mhm,
It just cannot fail. I love, love, love studying about the grace of God and the favor of God. Because I'm telling
mhm.
you, it's reminders for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're in a season of restarting and you're at a stopping point or you don't know where to go, you need direction. Maybe, being in a friend circle is great. Maybe being around family and around people that can give you some advice. But, just getting
Mhm,
alone by yourself with the Lord may be that's the first place we want to go.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom and all these things shall be added, you know, and so we do have to seek him first.
Yeah.
We forget. I think that we just, you know, we're so tangible to one another and we
Mhm.
want quick answers and we want that validation sometimes. And so
Yeah.
it's easy for us to do that. But because it's like, you know, we want to hear from him and hearing from him, it could be in a song, it could be in a television show, it could be in a message in the Bible, you know,
Hmm.
it could be in this devotional,
Yeah.
it could be
Yep.
like this devotional, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So we need different tools in order for us to stay on track for that restart.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the things that you're doing right now, Rachel. What's some of the things you're doing besides your, you know, the networking group? Let's talk about your networking.
Yeah, so I do
Coming
have
up
two
soon,
events
yeah.
coming up. So save the date, June 13th and June 27th. So June 13th, we're going to have another, oh, Dr. Harriet said she'll be able to attend this one too, so she's happy about that. But it'll be another Girl Talk, Tutus, and Tea Time event. So
Okay.
this one is going
Oh,
to be
we had a great
amazing.
time with that.
Yes, yes. It's going to be amazing. I actually have these cards with like different topics because last time I printed out some questions from like, you know, different like topics as well. So this one I actually have like professional cards and it talks about like emotional intelligence as a topic, relationships, success, and just different topics just to get a few women together. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And then
Oh,
on the 27th is going to be another big networking event that I normally host at least once a month. So that's just getting a whole bunch of people. It's co-ed, just getting everyone in the room together, different businesses, professionals, just all types of people. I'll have vendors again. I'm a hit up
yes.
Nora. I'm gonna hit her up, and
Hmm.
then have a headshot, you know, professional headshots there. We'll do raffles. We love doing raffles, and we do have a keynote speaker. It's
Awesome.
Candace, so it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna
Oh,
be
that's going to be
amazing.
great. So if you all want that information, we'll make sure we have that in the description. Rachel's going to tell you where you can follow her and where you can find her at. She is here on TikTok. She's on Instagram, Facebook, all the good things.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be uploading this onto YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. You will be able to find this conversation again. You can share it if you missed it tonight. So let's talk about some parallels to Noah and to where we are as women of faith, right? So some of the things that we find ourselves restarting, and this is one that actually came to the top of my list, is heartbreak, relationships,
Mm-hmm.
divorce. You know, there may be someone watching tonight, whether it's man or woman, that's looking to restart, that you're going through a heartbreak right now or a separation. And that can be really, really hard. That can be really, really hard. And that's something that we can pray for you about. And you can still come through that and restart. Career shifts. We were talking about this, me and Rachel, right before I jumped on this call tonight about work, because it's always about work with us ladies. And
Yes.
career shifts. Some of us are in a place of, you know, shifting in our career. We may be right in a job that we're shifting in the job and restarting in the job, some new projects, some new things. And it can be a little frustrating. And I actually was encouraged tonight by one of my staff because we were talking today. And she said, you know what, Farah, these are some of the growing pains. And she reminded me, like, you know, we're just restarting and restarting. She didn't use that word, but that's what I took
Yeah.
from it. And
Yeah.
so some of us are empty nesters, you know. You have some of us who are growing up and now our kids are getting older and leaving home. And restarting can be hard. Shout out to our good friend Anika Allen, friendship consultant. She posted a TikTok video last week. She was in her car and she said, I just dropped my son to the airport and I'm crying my eyes out because he's in college, her boys. And I just sent her the biggest hug through the screen. And I'm like, I just felt her heart. And yeah, for some of us parents having to see our kids grow up and move on, it can be a little hard. But so, you know, we can get into that restarting season with that. Health battles. You talked about eating healthy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the healthy hair care, you know, and just being conscious about that and being intentional about that. Health battles is a big thing. It can be a big thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it can be a big thing. You were just sharing a little bit about your mom doing some positive changes in her health. So
Yeah.
you said that she saw amazing changes.
Yeah, absolutely. One of them, because I just recently purchased a vibration plate. A
Yes.
lot of people have been, raving about it. So I decided to get one. And it's been really, really good because she has like lymphedema in her legs and she's
Yeah.
feeling like more circulation now. Like one of her toes was causing her pain ever since she started doing it. And I've only had it for maybe like 3 weeks, two and a half,
Yeah.
3 weeks. She no longer feels the pain, so she loves it. Like
You
it's
guys know what a
really, really
vibration plate
simple.
is? I love that. I mean, I used it, I think,
Yes.
when I went to therapy when I had a car accident. So for
Hmm.
you all who don't know about what a vibration plate is, it's like a little plate that you stand on and it vibrates and it moves your body. And people
Yeah.
love that thing.
It's like a lymphatic drainage too. Like because
Yeah.
most of the time, especially like us, we're sitting down at our desk, we don't move around. Like sometimes I have to remind myself, like, okay, I need to get up, move around for like every 30 minutes, or I used to like set alarms, or that's my intention to do it every day, but that never happens. And so time can go by and it's like I've been sitting down like for 4 hours. I was like, I gotta get up and move around, walk around, like jump or, do something, jump and
Yeah.
jump. But it's important because nowadays in this society, it's like a lot of people are working from home or if they're at work, they're sitting down. So it's important to get up and move our bodies, especially if you don't exercise normally. So with that vibration plate, she doesn't exercise like she should because of time. And, of course, we make time for what we want, but
Yeah.
she just stands on there for like 5, 10 minutes and it moves all the cells in your body. Like, all
Yeah.
your lymph is moving. So it allows you to get better circulation and a plethora of things. So I
Yeah.
recommend it. I definitely recommend it. I got it from Amazon for only $99. So it's
Wow.
amazing.
I see some faces that we know in here. Hey, how you doing, Yolanda? We see Jean Johnson, Edwin's jumping on. We have Cecilia. I see a lot of names on here. Thank you guys for jumping on. Another thing that you talked about last week, Rachel, was just getting into the sun,
Hmm.
sitting out in the sun,
Yeah.
right? And
20 minutes
so,
a day. That's all you need. Yeah.
yeah, I was
Literally.
out walking last week Sunday. I got a couple of miles in, and it was warm. And I said, you know what, it's fine because I'm getting that vitamin D, and
Hmm.
so I needed that sun.
Yeah.
For those of you who are struggling to restart because of a loss, trauma, or burnout,
Hmm.
definitely praying for you because burnout is real, trauma is real, loss of loved ones is real. So, I know that some people will need a restart because they're dealing with that. And
Hmm.
then this one here was my last one I want to talk about spiritual dry seasons.
Mm.
That is a huge one
Yeah.
for restarting, right? When we feel like we don't hear God and He's not there, or you're
Hmm.
not churning the way you need to or that you want to. And spiritual dry seasons is real, because
Hmm.
that's when you really have to use your faith and
Yep.
know that, God told me something and then it got quiet.
Mm.
And it could be weeks, days, months, years, and I'm not seeing this thing happen. And that's really tough and restarting,
Hmm. It
that
is.
dry season.
Hmm.
I want to just, there was a lady who I met this past Saturday. I went to a women's ministry event in the morning, and she was from New York City. Her name is Pastor Gail Brown. And I was sitting there, and it was an amazing, teaching and everything. And at the end, we were at the altar, and she just prayed over me, and she just prophetically spoke over my life that there had been like this stopping point. Like, you're so full of what the Lord has, and you're like, but there's like this block there, like you're trying to restart, and it's
Yes.
like, and she just prayed that would just move away.
Good.
So,
Good.
for some of us who have that feeling, or like, sometimes another person has to see it, and I love how the Lord does that, right? Because I mean, we may not hear it from him directly, or but he's going to send somebody.
Hmm.
And it could be anybody. It could be
Yeah.
anybody. I did not know this lady. I've never met her before. Well, I know that she
Hmm.
taught an amazing word, and I was up there at the end, and she prayed over me, and that's what the Lord showed her.
Yeah.
So that gave me that faith to just keep pushing past it and just continue what He told me that I'm supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
And so we're going to do that in this season, Rachel. We're not going to let it. We're not going to let anything stop us.
Right.
So for those who are watching and listening today, you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience.
Hmm.
If it's something new, it's probably attached to something you've already been doing,
Hmm.
most likely. So just evaluate that. Most likely you have the experience. You just don't even know you have the experience.
Hmm.
We were talking about something that we're going to be studying and, taking an exam for me and Rachel the other day. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm saying that out loud and I'm actually saying it to myself because I probably have experience with it. And I'm a little nervous about taking that exam and operating in that, that arena.
Yeah.
But you know what, Lord, show me what experiences I have that are going to match up with that. Because most likely, if you put it before me, that means I'm capable to do it.
Yeah.
God specializes in restarts. He doesn't waste a flood, a fire, or a failure. The
Mm-hmm.
rainbow is your reminder that your restart is wrapped in his promise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's wrapped up in his promise.
I love that.
We have to step out in faith despite fear and uncertainty, because that's one of our biggest things is fear. We allow fear to come in. Our faith, prayer life, and community are your faith, prayer life, and community are your arc. So that's
Mm.
important.
Yeah.
You endure loneliness, spiritual attacks, and emotional trials. So that's that place, the endurance, because so many of us buckle at the knees, and we've got to get strengthened. In this season,
Yeah.
you wait for God's timing and direction. So that's a big part of restarting that becomes a little bit frustrating for us, right? We
Mm-hmm.
hear something or we dream it, and we don't see it coming to fruition.
Yeah.
We have to really
Yeah.
stand in faith.
Yeah.
You are given a divine second chance with God's covenant of grace. So we're given a second chance. A restart is really a second chance to do it
Yeah.
better. Because as I listen to you, Rachel, from last year to this year,
Mm-hmm.
it sounds the same, but it's not the same. It's just leveled up.
Yeah.
It leveled
Yeah.
up. So restarting is leveling up.
Yeah. I
You
agree.
know,
That's one
it's
of the things
leveling
I was
up.
thinking too. Yep.
Yeah.
And then another thing, like with when it comes to restarting, we have to like reevaluate before we like restart. A powerful restart doesn't begin by doing more because we'll add, a ton of things that maybe we shouldn't be, but that's not what restart is about. It's not, adding on to what you already have. It's about starting the right way.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's, and doing the right thing. So I just encourage everyone to, pause and reflect on what you truly want. What wasn't working before, what needs to shift this time, do it. Don't just add on to, what you're doing. Just, reevaluate. And not only that, restart with intention,
Yeah.
like what's your
Yeah.
intention on restarting something, whatever it is, you know, just focus on that. Like intention, being intentional about everything, including restarting, is so important. And it requires structure, support, and self discipline. But we have to just do it. So it's nothing. And I love restarts because it's like I get a new year. I get it's
Yeah.
like a new year. It's like Happy New Year. It's like a new
Uh-huh.
year for me. I love restarts. And like you said, like there's nothing like second chances. And that's what I look at restart as. It's like a second chance, third chance, fourth chance. It just continues. It just goes on. So
Yeah.
it's amazing. I love restarting something, just as long as I'm doing it with intention and I'm restarting properly, doing the right
Yeah.
things.
What do you
Hmm.
think some stumbling blocks that you might have had in restarting something that you had a thought for it and you just didn't do it? What do you think some of the stumbling blocks might have been?
I would say my mindset. Maybe I thought I was incapable of doing something or I'm not qualified to do something.
Mhm.
So I would just say myself. I was in my own way. So
Yeah,
yeah, it
get
was
in
myself
control
in
of
the
your
way I thought.
mind. Get
Hmm.
in control. Because I know that I've seen a lot of things that you spoke about this year and you've accomplished it.
Hmm.
We spoke it out and we just all stood in faith together. And that's something that's, important is that the people that you do share with it, they have your heart, right? And so,
Hmm.
I was watching a podcast, I think it was yesterday, and it was just two friends talking about how they balance each other and they always compliment one another. They
Hmm.
never disrespect each other and they come to each other
Right.
like, you're winning it. You're having your winning season. I'm gonna have my winning season, and we're going to support each other in those
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah, just like our organizations that we're part of, Women on a Rise, the main
Yes.
saying is we congratulate, we don't compete.
Yes, I
So for
love
me,
that.
I'm
I
a
love
big
that.
competitor, but I compete against myself because I'm trying to be the
Yes.
next best version of myself. I don't
Hmm.
compete with other people because we may have different goals, where God is taking that person, God is taking me another direction. So why do I need to compete with them?
Yeah.
So I compete with myself. That's what we all should do.
hmm I think that you've been a big part of people's restarts, Rachel, even in your job, because I mean, not only do you work in insurance, but you impact a lot of the agents that are there. Because I've
Mhm.
met a lot of them, and so I know that there's others that are under you. Because I know that it's a bit tiered at sometimes. And so, what's one of the most positive situations that you've seen with people coming in, starting over? Because I mean, maybe they lost a job,
Mhm.
pivoted in their career, and they're coming in, and then you're encouraging them that they can do it.
Yeah.
What's one of those stories for you?
I would say the fact that they're like very motivated because a lot of people, even like, during the pandemic, a lot of people were losing their jobs, getting fired, getting
Yeah.
furloughed. So even speaking to a lot of people now, they're still getting furloughed. So when they come here, to the office, it's like a huge restart for them, like they're starting a
Yes.
business, they're helping change lives, helping families. So they're always telling me how grateful they are, that I'm, mentoring them and coaching them. So it's a good feeling, that I'm not only helping families, but I'm helping people, who's looking for different opportunities.
I
So
love
it's
that.
amazing.
I remember when I taught at the dental assistant school here in Orlando. Any of the new students that were coming into the school that was like just doing a tour, they would say, bring them to Mrs. Worrell's class. Because she is going to make them feel so welcome. She's going to make them feel like, wow, you're about to go into dental. This is exciting. Do you know what you're about to embark upon? And
Yeah.
I love being a part of people's starts and restarts because they never forget you. You never forget the person that
Mhm.
trained you and that helped you along the way.
Yeah.
I love to hear my students reaching out to me years later, seeing them get married, seeing their kids, seeing them go further than me in their education and going on to, be a hygienist and a doctor. So, when you do that, it's so inspiring,
Yeah.
to be a part of somebody's start, and then even when they want to quit. Because what about when you want to quit? You
Hmm.
started something and you want to quit, and then I've got to figure out a way, how am I going to retain them? It's just like what we do every day in business, right? People want to walk away, they want to give up, and where do you fit into helping them to see the other side of that?
Hmm.
And
Well,
just that
yeah.
positivity and being motivated,
Yeah.
and stuff. And so that I love Terry Savelle. We watch her on YouTube.
Yeah.
Terry Savelle, if you're ever watching any of these podcasts, shout us out. We love watching you because you're the cheerleader of dreams, and and that's what we do. We're here to cheer each other on,
Hmm.
right? To be at that race with you, to watch you maybe start the race and then you slow down in your pace and then you restart and ramp up again. And
Hmm.
so restarting is so important. For those who are watching and listening tonight, where are you at in your in your season of restarting, rebuilding, resetting? Where are you at, in this time right now? Because I don't want you to, if you're on here and you were about to give up, I hope that, we inspired you enough tonight not to give up, that you can restart, you have the strength, you have it
Yes.
in you to keep going.
Right.
You have it in
Absolutely.
you. You have it in you to keep going. We want
Hmm.
to see you win. We want to see each other win.
Hmm.
Um, what else do you want to talk about, Rachel? Let's talk about your company and how they can find you as well and your platforms.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. I have on there my link tree. So it's at Insured with Rachel. And I'll put it in the chat as well, but it's at Insured with Rachel on Instagram. You could also find me on Facebook, Rachel Mashad. But my Instagram, it'll take you straight there. I just put it in the chat.
Awesome.
Um, I put it there. You'll see my link tree. I have my Blink business digital business card on there, so you could just find me on there. We're always hosting events, and we'd
Yes.
love to have you out. My Eventbrite is on there as well, so feel free to follow that. That way, you get notification in your email on when I'll be hosting my next events. But I'll be posting flyers out tonight for sure
Okay.
on the tea party that we're gonna have. So just get your tutus ready because it's gonna be fun. The
Yes.
conversations that we're gonna have, it's gonna be amazing. We didn't
Yeah.
even get to go through all the questions last time because the ladies, they were just there, just so excited and just
Yeah.
rambling in a sense,
Yes.
like it was
Yes.
an aming time.
So will it be
Absolutely.
at the same location? You want to share the location with
It
them?
will. It will. It's going to be at the Crunk Dep tea place.
Love
Yeah,
that
it's
place. We
it's
would
in Winter Park. It's in Winter Park. So yeah,
love,
Winter Park is
love,
an
love
amazing
that
area.
place.
So
Everybody,
yeah.
those who want to come with your tutus, that place, the food is so good. It's so quaint. The tea is really good because they have some amazing different
Yes,
flavored
and it's
tea.
loose leaf tea too, so it's amazing.
Yes, and the staff was really nice. They gave us as much
Mhm.
time as we wanted there. We didn't get thrown out, and it
No.
was a good amount of us. So I will tell you, when once Rachel posts the information,
Mhm.
reach out and register early because it's going to fill up because the place is not that big.
Yeah,
It's not that big, and I
it's
think
a
that
good
we
enough
filled
size.
probably almost half of the place when we got there. The
Yeah.
last time, and so I'm sure there's going to be more women coming out
Hmm.
and enjoying that time.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your chapter because we're not going to get all the way into the chapter because we want you all to pick up our book, The Successful Women's Journal, Devotional. We have some amazing co-authors on here. Can I tell you, you will hear from just about every last one of them because they're going to be coming on here and sharing with you about the season of read because each one of them chose a word to speak about. And so you're going to meet all these amazing ladies. But I want Rachel to share a little bit about your chapter, not all of it, but just a little bit about, what inspired you to write it, and what you put in the book, and what's the next step for you in writing.
Well, I just put my story, where I was before, where I came from, my current journey, and just what got me from A to now. I won't say B because my story is just definitely not finished. My journey is an ongoing process. So yeah, I give some tips on what my morning routine looks like, some of the things I've done. It's just amazing, and my next step. I definitely want to write some more books,
Yeah.
and I'm working on it. And it's just going to be amazing. I've always wanted to be an author. I just didn't think it was going to be like that, like in an
Yes.
anthology. But it was amazing. All the
Hmm.
stories in there are just phenomenal. So I'm
Yes. And
so grateful to be a
all the
part of it.
ladies who are on this anthology, they're all just, you're going to meet every one of them because all of them will be coming on with me. I'm going to be on with Tammy B tomorrow night, with
Nice.
Sephora on Friday night,
Hmm.
Dr. Kita on this weekend. So it's just so many amazing messages that's to come. And so, yes, stick with us all the way through the month because we're going to have all these amazing ladies on. And hopefully, we'll talk about doing another project again. The
Yep.
one thing that you forgot to mention about you is something that me and you both do every single month. And what is that? Contributors for the
Oh
Sanford Herald.
yeah. I
So
forgot
Rachel's
about
also a
that.
columnist for the
Yes.
newspaper. We both write for the newspaper here in our local
Mhm.
community. And share
Yes.
about what you write in the paper every month, Rachel. Because I mean, of course, we do different articles every month.
Yeah, so I just essentially teach the community how to build generational wealth. I say that's my superpower because I was on a panel yesterday for the African American Chamber of Commerce, and
Yes.
one of the questions were that was asked of us was, "What is your superpower?" I was like, "Oh, I never really thought of that," but I was like, "Yeah, my superpower is to help people build generational wealth." So I talk a lot about that,
Yes.
annuities, what annuities are, just another tool that you can use to get guaranteed income for the rest of your life. But I call myself in the Sanford Herald the fairy, your financial fairy godmother,
Yes.
because I'm passionate about helping women and families with their financial futures and building legacies and I focus a lot on women, all families, but mostly women because when someone passes in a household, it's typically the husband and the women
Yeah.
don't know what to do. So I like to educate the women, primarily the men too, but mostly the women.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Guys,
just
guys,
give
don't get
some
upset that she said that because I know that there are studies that show that women do outlive men, and our good friend Anika Allen talks about that. She's a friendship consultant in the community. She talks about just so many different facts. She brings so many different facts that comes with that, and
yeah.
where we are, as women in our community and building our community.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that is really important. I mean, I thank you because I mean, I probably would have still been without insurance if it hadn't been for you explaining it to me because I know I had a lot of questions, and I know that one thing about Rachel, she doesn't get frustrated, when you're asking all these questions because again, there's your money going somewhere that you can't see where it's going,
Hmm.
but people are going to have questions like,
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. So yeah,
Hmm.
so Rachel, thank you so much for coming on tonight, talking about the power of
Absolutely.
restart. Thank you. And I'm so happy that I've seen you do some things and we're about to restart and, come up with some more things. And it's going to be an amazing remainder of the year.
Yes. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to it. Like this
Yeah.
year, by the end of this year, I could just see us, December 31st, 2025 saying, wow, this was the best year yet. And then next
Yes.
year is going to be even better,
It's going to
So
be even better. It's going
we
to be
got some stuff in
even
the
better.
works.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to leave you all with this about reset. Your past was preparation, your present is positioning, and your restart is God's promise in motion. It's his
Love it.
promise in motion. So listen, he's right there with you. You have to move too, right? So you
Mhm.
can't be at that starting line and ready to
Yes.
start and you're waiting because he's in the motion, which means that you need to move. We need to get moving.
Hmm.
So thank you everybody for watching tonight. Look for us
Yes.
tomorrow night. I'll be on here with Tammy B. She's actually on her live on YouTube tonight. So I'm going to be jumping on and listening to her before her episode ends. But we thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Rachel, thank you so much for saying yes and for jumping on this with me. Can't
Absolutely. You're
wait for
so
us to get
welcome.
together soon. And I'm sure we'll have some new collaborations and some new projects coming up as well.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you
Awesome.
all for being with us tonight. And
Thank
we're in this
you.
TikTok space because I mean I'm not used to being in this TikTok space. So if you see me over here struggling a little bit, it's only because it's new to me. But probably by next week I'll get it.
Yeah, you
You know
got
what?
it.
Maybe if I ask my son, he'll show me how to do it.
You got it. You're doing phenomenal.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much, Rachel. We will
Sarah.
talk soon. And everybody, listen, get your power restart in from your number one grace girl. I'm here to push you. We're here to encourage you. If you are on this video, share this with your friends, share this with your family. We want to hear from you. Thank you so much for following myself and Rachel as well. And we will continuously be engaging with our audience. And we just thank you so much for your support on our channels.
Awesome.
All right, Rachel. So we'll talk soon. Everybody have a good night.
Bye. Good night, everyone. Bye, Farah.
Bye. Hey, did you enjoy today's conversation with Rachel Michaud of the Orlando Connect? Don't forget to look us up on our many platforms. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear from you.